Hi, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the Rectified podcast. Today, my guest is Jean Philippe Arcand, one of the co founders of Glowtify. This episode is not about ChatGPT, it's not about Claude, it's not about Gemini, it's about Glowtify. We will talk about AI and how Glowtify is doing things with AI and helping companies. I don't know much detail, so I'm going to let Jean Philippe tell us more. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you're here. It's been a long time.
Yeah. That's what I was talking with the team before we started recording. I think it's been almost a year that we've been in touch, and then it almost happened end of last year, and now it's happening, so it's great.
Exactly. Tell me a little bit more about Glowtify. When I want to define what it is, I just don't know exactly how to describe it.
Yes.
So you will be a better person to tell
Yes.
people what it is.
So it's essentially it's a marketing system in a box. So what we do is we work with mainly B2B companies. We like to call them unsexy businesses. It's not that they're not sexy, just people don't like to talk to them
Yes.
for some reason. And we help them set up their marketing function with the tool we've built, which is Glowtify. And we're leveraging AI to do the full marketing cycle. So to go from strategy to execution to publishing and scheduling and all online marketing channel, that is.
Okay. So walk me through it. If I go on the app, like on the platform,
Yes.
I
So the
create
first things
the
first.
strategy
Yes.
and everything?
Yes, you connect your
Okay.
tools. And what is the most important thing with AI right now is context. So you really have to think about Glowtify, about a tool that is able to ingest all of your business context, and you can input also other pieces of context, so that when we then help you generate a content strategy, so the full funnel, starting from awareness to consideration and then conversion, and then input and create a strategy, a content strategy. What am I going to talk about? When am I going to talk about it? In which channel am I going to talk about it? Then once that's done, then we help you execute on your strategy, create content in the strategy, and then publish. We're connected to different tools so that you can publish directly in your, for example, Meta without going to Meta.
Yeah. So it's a one-stop shop, basically.
Yes, that's what we're.
So it's
that's what we've been trying to build. Yes.
ChatGPT and Canva and Klaviyo or whatever. Mailchimp
We're connected to all.
All of it together in one space.
Yes, kind of. Actually, we're kind of sitting on all of those tools, and we're coordinating all of those tools. That's the value proposition is a centralization of all of your marketing tools into one place. Yeah.
You're not a stranger to the world of marketing. You
No.
were in an agent. You had an agency before.
Yes.
Or you were in
Well,
an
actually, I started my career as a brand manager at Procter & Gamble. So that's when I first worked in marketing, and then I did a bit of a small bifurcation, and I tried to launch my own shoes company, online shoes company, and that didn't go so well. But it's okay. It was full of learnings, and I think it was kind of the premise or the beginning of building Glowtify. And I spent almost 6 years in the wine industry, and back in 2023 with one of my co-founders, Mark, he had started a marketing agency, and I joined. I joined as a investor and partner in the marketing agency, and then Glowtify was spun out of the marketing agency. Yes.
I feel like entrepreneurs always have stories like this. Like, we tried to launch a brand and then it didn't work out, and then I pivoted to this thing and I pivoted. I do have similar stories. I've never talked about it before, but yeah, I do have a similar story where I tried to launch a brand, it didn't work out, and then
I think Mark, one of my co-founders, I think he tried to launch 5 or 6 different brands.
Wow.
It was in this whole era of drop shipping,
Yes.
like 2016, 2017, kind of all of these businesses. We actually also...
Same time for me.
Yes. And Mark, it's funny, and now you make me think, we also tried to launch a online sofa company before Rover, Cozy, and all of these, but it kind of didn't go through because it was not a full-time thing for us, and we didn't really put the work that was needed. But we explored to the point that we met with manufacturers, but it never came through. So Mark and I have been trying to do something for a very long time together.
I understand it completely. Same, like I feel that every entrepreneur goes through these things, and I just really love how the journey takes you from one point to getting somewhere where it truly works out, it's aligned with everything, and it just happens just like today with Glowtify. If you're enjoying this conversation and you'd like to see more episodes with amazing guests, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow on whatever platform you're tuning in from. We release new episodes every Friday, and I can't wait to read your opinion in the comment section. Tell me a little bit more about AI and everything AI related. Like your platform is using AI.
Yes.
But then everybody is now an AI expert. Everybody wants to code on Claude and wants to do, I don't know what, on Gemini, you know, all of these things. Tell me a little bit more about this, what's happening, this phenomenon.
Yes. Well, I think we're kind of living a bit in a bubble sometimes. Like it's not. I saw it's funny we talk about this because I saw the statistic. I think it was this morning or yesterday. Actually, 85% of people never touched AI. So
Really?
today, yes.
Maybe we're all in this
yes.
bubble.
So we're kind of talking to we're kind of in that echo chamber and talking to each other in the AI world a lot. That doesn't mean that it's not changing everything, and that doesn't mean it's not good. It's just you have to keep in mind, and we could pull the stats. Up to not such a long time ago, 40% of businesses in Quebec didn't even have a website. So you cannot expect them to use AI. Now, with that said, I think for us, at the very least, since Claude released the new version, so Opus in February, that's when for us, I think from an AI standpoint, things changed quite a bit. Yeah. Before that, it was kind of okay, it's a nice tool, but the results are kind of okay most of the time. Now, obviously, it's changing our own business, how we build the product. That's where the massive change is happening, is the building of the product. And then there's that dynamic going on in the market where people are trying to build things themselves. There's just one issue with that. Yes. And that's the one thing, because we always, between the co-founders, like, but what's the use of Glowtify? You know, if anybody can actually just do Glowtify.
That was going to be my next question.
But when you really think about it, okay, great. In your company, somebody's going to build Glowtify. Okay. So what happens the day that person that doesn't code, doesn't know how to fix the tool they've built, and then the entire process that was built around that tool that was vibe coded breaks down? What do you do? You're kind of, what happens is that person leaves without transferring the knowledge to anybody. So I think there's some companies, we've been meeting a lot of marketing agencies, and the larger ones like Sidley or Cossette, they have the money and the pockets to actually hire like a team of 10, 15, 20 people and build those systems, maintain them, and actually do custom things, which actually makes a lot of sense. If I was them, that's what I would be doing. I wouldn't be buying anything off the shelf. But then most companies are 40, 50, 30 people, and they still need an off-the-shelf solution because they cannot do everything themselves. Exactly. So they need a company to maintain the system and understand where the trends are going. So I think that's where the different kind of lies.
I feel small and medium businesses is the sweet spot for you guys. I wouldn't go ahead and try to code everything. Maybe it's a small team, you don't have enough time, you're juggling 5 million things at the same time, you know? You just pay a fee, whatever, a licensing fee. And then you have things that are ready. You do the updates. If there's anything new, I don't have to keep up with what's happening in the AI world. Like you said, in February, they launched something new. Yesterday, it was ChatGPT. Today, everybody's on Claude. I don't want to figure things out, you know, all of these things. So I just delegate. It's sort of delegating, basically.
Yes.
But to a company, not to a certain person.
Yes. And so you could hire. You could.
Yeah.
But what you're going to do, you're going to hire, like, let's say a team of 3 people. Developer, you need to have if you want to be building your own marketing tool, you need to have a marketing expert. You cannot just have ask a developer to build a marketing tool. So yeah, it's going to cost you $300, $400, $500,000 per year in salaries, where we come in with a solution that's going to cost $40,000 to $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
And we maintain it, we build it, we have the marketing experts. So it doesn't make sense for everybody. I think where it makes the most sense for us right now is when we come in and there's no existing marketing function.
Yeah.
Because to be setting up your own marketing function would be so expensive. That's where we come in. But yes, and for us, one thing that we like to talk about also is that, as you mentioned, is we're agnostic to. We're not vendor dependent. So one day we can unplug and plug any LLM into any model, into any tool. So we always try to figure out which one has the best cost benefit ratio for the clients. So
and the functionalities and all of these things. It's just, I think it's very simple because I don't have to figure things out.
Yes.
Although I like to do it because I'm me, but other people, like, they don't have to go and see, oh my God, how does this work? And this is the new update. And there's 5 million new things per day. I'm sure nobody knows everything.
Yes.
What's happening in this world. What do you think about AI in general? Like there was a period, there are periods of times in the market where I feel like there's something that's booming and then it dies down, and then something else is booming and then it dies down. I remember a few years ago, every time I open my LinkedIn, and I have a lot of friends from bankers and finance people, and all their posts were about fintech, 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 fintech. It was like all my feed. And now I open Threads or LinkedIn, especially these two. It's all Claude. Like it used to be ChatGPT, now it's Claude. I feel like there's a point where things are going to shift. Either, I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to shift. I feel like today it's just a lot of propaganda around it, but then something will normalize somehow.
Well, I mean, what do I know? But what I think is I don't think we're close to AGI, and I think it's still only a tool. And it's not very creative. It's amazing at synthesizing information, analyzing data, and coming up with insights, like large amount of data, which would take a lot more time to do. It's amazing at that. I mean, and I don't think it's great at creating anything from scratch and being thoughtful and being
something new.
Yes, and being I think it's tasteless, to be very frank. It's all about how you use it and what you do with it, and knowing its limitation and maximizing what you can from it, and not trying to make it do something that. So I really do think that one of the core issue that is happening right now is that you have OpenAI and Anthropic and all of these promising crazy valuations to investors, and they need to keep that hype alive. Otherwise, it all crashes and burn. So the most recent example was Claude Mythos, I think it was last week, where it's too dangerous to be used. And then it cracked those old... and then they benchmark it with like the older models. The older models can all do the exact same thing than what Claude Mythos supposedly came up with and did. So I think there's a lot of...
but if you don't know, you would believe what you're... Like, the benchmarking and all of it.
No, you're 100% right. And that's one thing that is really... From a startup standpoint, trying to sell your product, the expectations of clients are completely out of whack. Like they think, because I think one big part of it is because of how it's being portrayed in the media and by all of those Sam Altman, notably, but so the expectations, and it's crazy because you will help people, let's say, cut down the time it takes to do a process from 10 hours to 1 or 2 hours, and they think it's not their expectation is that it should be perfect in 5 minutes. And if it's not perfect in 5 minutes, it's not good. It's like, whoa, okay, like the how people think about AI is a bit different than what actually AI can do.
Like a few days ago, a friend of mine said they want to Amazon Prime everything.
Yes.
So it's like this, like they want very quick.
Yes.
Even with AI, it's becoming even faster than Amazon Prime, let's
Yes.
say.
Yes.
So they want it in 5 minutes, like you're saying. How are you managing that? Like, how do you manage people's expectations? And how do you tell them that it cannot be 100% AI? Like, you also need to do some work.
It's a good question. It's funny, actually, because we've been kind of in between service and product for almost a year, and there's been this debate in the company. So should we do service or not? And then about 2 to 3 months ago, the big guys like Sequoia, Y Combinator, most recently this morning, they came out and said the future of SaaS is service. And we're like, well, okay, but that actually makes sense, because what we actually sell now to our clients is the output. We don't even sell them the use of the tool. Is we sell them, hey, here's what we're going to do for you, and then we use the tool to deliver that to them, and then we work internally to automatize as much as possible as the manual work we do. So today we have automatized probably like 80 to 90% of the human work, but that has enabled us to do two things. We control the output, so the client is, yes, they're in the platform, they're proving things, they're requesting changes and stuff like that. But the quality of the output, we control it, so we make sure it's actually great. And then, but the big thing for us is we capture service dollars. So service.
What does it mean to
Yes,
anyone who doesn't know?
So let's take QuickBooks as an example, the accounting, right?
Almost
so
everybody uses.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is QuickBooks license going to cost you? Maybe like $5,000-$10,000 a year in license. But how much do you pay your accountant? You pay them 60, 70, $100,000
Whatever, depends.
a year. So that's the service dollars, right? But if you put yourself, let's say I'm an AI native accounting tool. What I want to do is I want to come to you and say, hey, it's going to cost you $80,000 a year to use my tool, but you don't have to hire an accountant.
Okay.
So for you, it's savings. For me, I'm taking all of the service dollars in my pockets.
So you're killing the accountant.
Well, you're not killing the accountant. I think it's just...
Yeah.
I think it's the mindset everyone should have, in my opinion, everyone should have now. It's happening. You can fight it if you want.
Yes.
It's happening.
It is, yeah.
Now is how do you adapt and how do you change fundamentally your work to make the most out of using the technology and then keep those dollars. So the accountant should find that AI native tool and then make a deal with the tool to get a lower fee on the license and then turn around and sell back that service to clients.
We're taking the accountant as an example,
yes.
but it's everything else.
Yes, but
also.
so that's what we are doing. We like the people right now that work with us, they're marketers, but they're doing different work than they used to do. They're focused more on what the overall strategy is, and they focus more on giving direction, and then the AI takes care of the execution layer. I think it's really, really good at executing. Most of the time, better than us, actually.
So the users can be agencies, it can be marketing directors or whatever, marketing people in a company.
Yes.
It's this type of people.
Yes. Where we currently do best, honestly, is when there's no marketers in the company. So we come in and we help those businesses. I was telling to the staff earlier, one of our latest clients is they clean boats and they do underwater repairs in the central neighborhood. So like, as I said, like very unsexy businesses that you don't even know they exist, right? But they are 250 people company and they have zero marketers internally. So what we do is we come in and we build that function for them at a fraction of the cost of what an agency or hiring would be. So it's it really, that's what we tend to do best. Now we have some teams, marketing teams, that use it because it also works as a collaboration tool, and we are starting to test with agencies. But what we're finding is that, and I think a lot of AI companies are finding right now, people are unwilling to change the way their processes and the way they do things. And
Agree.
yes,
Especially if they're like companies who have been operating since 50 years,
Yes.
since 60 years, or like the parents started and then the kids took over, or things, different dynamics like that, where they're very into what they've been doing. We've always done this way, and they're not adopting anything new and they're not evolving.
yeah,
Over the years working with product brands, I developed my own framework for scaling. I call it the 3R framework. It's my signature system, and it's what I use with every single client I work with. And today, I want to give you the diagnostic tool that sits at the heart of it. It's free, it takes about 10 minutes, and it will show you exactly which of the 3Rs, revamp, reshape, or reach, is your biggest gap right now. The link is in the description. Go grab it and start working on the right thing.
to give you a very stupid example, but I think, imagine that the nail gun never doesn't exist, and you've always been nailing nails with a hammer, and then I come to you and say, "Here's a nail gun," and then you start trying to use it as you use the hammer. You're gonna come back to me and you're gonna tell me, "Well, your thing doesn't work, man. It's not. It's terrible. I broke it after hitting 3 times, and it doesn't work." But if I know it's a stupid example, but that's what people are trying to do with AI right now.
Yeah.
They're like, "Well, I have this process that is actually a broken process, and I'm trying to fit AI and make AI do the process that is actually broken," instead of thinking, well, how does the AI work, and how can I change the way I work around to benefit from AI? I think that's a big thing. So that's why it's a little bit, when it comes to larger teams, that's why it's a little bit more complicated right now, because we have to educate on how to change the way you work, which is not easy to do.
But I like it. You're kind of disrupting the industry. Not too crazy disruption, but sort of. You're trying to, let's say, democratize
Yes.
the marketing and content creation and all of these things with one tool.
Yes.
And you're introducing it to companies who had no idea about what to do. They needed teams and they didn't have them and all of that. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, and typically where we tend to land more is companies that are changing hands. So the new family member taking over because what's also happening is they're noticing is that their own buyers are changing. It's becoming a lot more millennial and Gen Zs.
Yes.
And they behave completely different from how the X or the baby boomers behave. So that's also a dynamic that's happening in the market.
That's so true. Nowadays, millennials are the middle, the middle aged. I don't like to say that.
No, but it's
I'm a millennial, so
yes, me too.
I'm not middle aged. But
what is middle age?
I don't know exactly.
I mean, I don't want to say my age, but I'm getting very close to what would be considered middle age.
But this group of people, they're the ones who are at a good place in their careers. They're making good money.
Yes.
They have the power to buy things. So they are the consumers.
Yes.
And also Gen Z, somehow they are maybe smarter than the millennials in the ways of making money. They're using all of these new technologies. They're using social media. So they also have quite a big purchasing power that we didn't have when we were in our 20s, let's say. So I kind of see how companies should really focus on these categories, and they should adapt, like how people buy and how people, how to convert them.
People don't want to talk to people anymore. If they want to talk to you, they're almost decided like, and I say this in a very kind way because I do the same. I don't want to talk to a sales rep. I want to do my own research, and by the time I'm ready to purchase, I'll have
just buy.
identified like 2 or 3 that I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. So I'm gonna ask them to demo.
True.
But I don't want. I'm doing all my research online.
We all do this.
Yes, I know, but it's a fundamentally it's a
Yeah.
most of these B2B companies or unsexy businesses, they've grown with word of mouth. So for them, it's a completely different way of doing business that is happening.
Yes, this is so true because just yesterday, my sister, she has a 9-month-old girl, and in the daycare they told, she needs sunscreen because the sun is finally out in Montreal. So we quickly went to a store. I'm not gonna name it. And we're like, what's the difference between this one and that one? We didn't have the chance. She basically didn't have the chance to do the research like you said. So the person was barely able to explain and things like that. She's like, I'm just going to take this to daycare. Then I'll do my research and buy another one,
Yeah.
So because we all do that. Like we decide, even if it's a very, whatever, $5 item or $1,000 item, we decide in advance and then we go to the store.
Yes.
If we go to the store.
If we go to
because
the store.
sometimes we don't even go there.
Yes. So we see that behavior happening at the company level when you're actually purchasing something for the company.
Yeah.
The behavior doesn't really change.
So you're an entrepreneur, we talked about everything you've done and all the experimentation, and now your clients are also mostly small and medium businesses, so they're owned by the people who created these companies most of the time.
Yes.
Of course, not everybody, but most of them. And how are you navigating this world, having, experience in how it goes and telling them maybe this is a good solution for you, even if they're whatever, they don't know anything about technology, they don't know anything about AI, or they think that this is going to ruin the world or something. How do you navigate this? It's a little complicated to tell people and teach them. There's a lot of education.
Yes, well, I mean, honestly, like we're at the stage that it's gonna sound stupid, but we don't have time to. I don't want to say waste, but we don't have time to spend educating people. But there's a lot of people looking for solutions.
Yes.
A lot of people are being asked right now, even if they're family owned or they have boards. And the board asks, well, what are you doing with AI? That's a typical thing. And everybody's looking at how can I implement AI to be more efficient and be faster and be more productive. So there's actually more AI appetite
that's true.
than we may think. Again, as I was saying, I think, and my sales team always tells me, what sells is the fact that we tell our clients that we're gonna help them and we're gonna take them by the hand and walk them through and make sure it's well implemented and we're there for them. At the end of the day, as much as the opposite of what we just said, people want to have a human helping them.
Of course.
And they want less and less to know how it works. They care more about the output and more about putting in the actual work or the details that needs to be put in to get the output.
Yeah.
So the way to, as stupid as it is, most of the time to convince them is to offer service and to offer to being present with them. And that's how we sell, yes.
It's very interesting what you just said. And we were talking about this in last week's episode. That my guest was an expert in communications, and you know how AI is taking over and all of that. But still, there's a lot of people who come to her because they need the human. And you just said that they want to implement AI.
Yes.
They want to use the tool, but they want to know that there's a person behind it that I can contact.
Yes.
And maybe one of those bigger companies that we see and everybody's talking about, we don't know who's behind it. And sometimes if we have an issue, it's always the AI agent and we get frustrated. And, you just need to talk to a human and explain what's going on to help you.
Yes, and I think it goes back to the whole like self-driving car issue. And what I mean by that is, we know now self-driving cars are by far more secure for humans
Than us.
than us. Yet, I am a lot more safe having the driver that just got his
Yes.
permit driving me than having the self-driving car. Why? It's when you think about it, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But that's the same phenomenon is happening with. I mean, self-driving car is AI. But the same phenomenon is happening with marketing tools, accounting tools, because are you sure there's no mistake? And who's accountable if there's a mistake? And I think that at the end of the day, that's why people want to talk to people, is they want to be able to hold someone accountable to a mistake or to a result.
I think maybe the next generation will not be like this.
Maybe.
Maybe they will get used to it. Because I remember I used to work with my dad many years ago, and we used to travel a lot. And he's used to going to Italy, and he knows this one hotel, and he sends them a fax, or he calls them and they book him a room and all of that. And then one day when, online booking started for hotels, I booked the hotel. I swear, until we got the key to the room and we got in the room, he didn't believe that I booked the hotel. But after that, he got used to it. And he was like, find me a hotel in this city and book me this, And I started doing it.
Yeah.
But he was like in his 70s back then.
Yeah.
So I imagine maybe someone who is like my niece, 9 months old, when she's 20, it will be the norm. Like they will trust the robot.
Yes.
They will trust the...
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, just like the internet, right? Like
Exactly.
I remember my parents, for some reason, they thought in the internet and social media, I mean, to some extent they were right, was the devil. But now they're on it and everybody's on it. And
Exactly.
it's just like, okay, it's just normal, but it took some time, and then you had the precursors that were there. But again, going back to what we were talking earlier, AI is just, in my view, is a very, very mind-blowing tool. I think why it's mind-blowing is because it seems like it's talking to us, and I think that's what is mind-blowing to us humans. Because you have this thing that is not human actually talking to you. But at the end of the day, and that's what we always talk with my co-founders, I'm sure that in 1999, Jeff Bezos was with his co-founders, or they were saying like, there's not gonna be retail stores anymore. Brick and mortar is dead. I mean, let me tell you, brick and mortar is not dead. Like
it's coming back actually.
Yes, and Walmart is still one of the most valued company in the world, and Costco, and but the internet changed things forever. But not necessarily in that catastrophic or that.
So you don't think we will be replaced? You don't know.
What do I know? But the one thing that I don't see happening right now is, and we have this debate all the time, but okay, so there's all those unsolvable if you're aware, there's like mathematical equations that are very old that people are not, and there's people always trying to, why is it, if AI is that strong, why is it all those unsolvable mathematical equations are not solved?
Yeah.
In my view, it's because it takes a lot of creativity to actually think about a new way of solving a solution. And AI is just simply not able to do that. It's very, very good at doing a copy of what humans we've done.
Yes.
But to actually think about a creative solution by itself, I've not seen it. So how can it replace us if it cannot solve new problems by itself.
Yeah. It still needs a real brain
So
somehow.
right now, yes,
Somehow. Yeah.
and I can see that when they're going to be able to have a robot that can do that is as good at doing a surgeon operation that it is at folding laundry, that it is at
Whoa, yeah.
I can see that something is going to happen, but is it going to replace us? What do I know? Like
Nobody knows, actually.
yeah, exactly. I go back and forth. I go back and forth from like we're all dead. I don't know why I have a daughter to well, let's all calm down. It's just another tool, and it's gonna be fine. I always go back and
Yes,
forth.
yes. This Saturday, it's funny you said that, but this Saturday I was working in a cafe with a friend of mine, and somebody overheard us. We're talking about marketing and strategies and
Yeah.
things like that, and he's like, "Are you in marketing?" Blah blah blah. I'm doing AI. We started talking about AI. And he's like, in 2 years, all this is going to disappear. AI is taking over. He's building a platform. He's building like a virtual world or kind of something like that.
Okay.
I didn't understand 100% what he's building. And it's going to disappear. We are all going to disappear. I'm like, this is very doomsday. Like in 2 years,
Oh yes.
what's going to happen?
Well, it's just anytime I think about this, I can. Okay, you flip it in any direction you
Yeah.
want. Okay, perfect. Let's assume that developers are. We won't need developers
Yes.
in 2 years from now. Okay, perfect. So that's how many people are actually out of a job. So if there's no more developers making money, how are these people buying things? They're
Yeah.
they're not. So who's buying the thing you're building to replace the engineers if there's no engineers with money? So it's kind of
But it
a.
evolves. The market evolves. Like
I know.
what we do today, it didn't exist 100 years ago.
I
They
know.
used to work differently and make money differently. So I'm pretty sure whatever change is gonna happen.
But that's my whole point.
Yeah.
Is it's not gonna replace us. It will replace certain
It will evolve.
part of the jobs, but to think that humans will be irrelevant, it just doesn't make any sense. And if that happens, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but there's gonna be people in the streets, and
Yes.
there's gonna be a lot bigger problems than what do we do with AI because it's gonna be a massive issue.
So true. What do you tell companies who are hesitating to adopt AI? Maybe they're afraid about their information being
Yes,
out
all
there
of them,
or
they're afraid.
security.
Yes. It's happening, so you might as well try to fight it, but it's happening. But
Yeah.
what's the difference between this and all your emails with Google and
Exactly.
you logged in
My pictures on iCloud.
on iCloud and using Siri before AI was a
Yeah.
thing, and using the bank online? Like, what
Yeah.
really is the difference?
I think the only difference is that maybe it takes this information and it just gives it also to someone else, because AI sort of scrapes, while my pictures may not end up suggested to you unless they're, on some public Instagram or something. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
still feel like there's the security behind it, but in fact, it's not, because they own whatever's on the cloud.
Yeah, yes, I can understand why. At the same time, it's
It is what it is. We have to accept it. I think the companies who will not adopt this thing will stay behind, just like back in the days, they stayed with paper and not computers and they were late.
yes,
The same thing.
yes. So as unfortunate as it is, and as I, I mean, it's this morning. My girlfriend told me I don't want to have Alexa in the home anymore, and we only have it
Yes.
for the doorbell.
Okay.
And then I told her, well, okay, but like if they really want to listen to you, don't worry, they will listen to you via your phone.
Here.
Like that. What's the
Exactly.
difference? Like, and what are they gonna do with your data? They who's they? You
Who's
know what
they?
I mean? And but then at the same time, I'm telling you all of this, and I'm a big believer that they're not listening to us, and it's far worse than that. Actually, the models and the the all the research on behaviors that these big companies have been able to do, they're so good at being able to know what you will want next or what you will be searching next, that you actually believe they're listening to you. That's how good they are. And that's, to me, is a lot more scarier than listening to you.
Yeah.
It's a lot scarier, the fact that
Yeah.
they can deliver an ad that about something that you were just talking about with your friend, and then 10 minutes later they deliver it on your phone. It's a lot scarier to think that it's because they're able to predict what you're going to do versus that they listen to you.
I always
In
have
my
that.
opinion,
It is. It is. There's something. I do think there's something bigger happening, but I don't know what it is, and I don't know who's they, and I don't know what. I don't know all of this. All I know is that I always want to be ahead. From the days where internet started, I was
yes,
there. When iPhone came out, I was there. You know, all of
yes,
it throughout the analog, through digital, now through AI. I know that I have to keep up to stay relevant. That's what
yes.
I know. What happens in the background, I don't care. And whatever happens, happens. You cannot control it.
Yes, I mean, I'm a bit like you. Like, I don't really ask too many questions before I do something. I find creates a lot of anxiety
Yes,
if you
agree.
start thinking about all those scenarios, and then you end up with paralysis and fear, and you do
Yeah.
nothing. Uh, I mean, it comes with the flip sides. I often put myself in situations that I wouldn't be in if I would ask more questions.
Yeah.
But it also comes with the flip side that you get the benefits from
Yes.
trying those new things
But
and
that's
doing those new
also an
things.
entrepreneur mindset, to just jump things, try it out. If it works out, it works out. It doesn't work out, you move on, you pivot. You know, it comes with
I
the.
find there's both. There's like the ones asking themselves all those questions and then seeing all the, and it's not one is better than the other one, right? And seeing always the negative side and always be like, oh, it's not going to work. And then you have the ones that are not asking enough questions and just like going, okay, let's do it. And we have enough information. Let's just make the call and do it. There's both in the
Yes.
entrepreneur world.
So, what's one last word you tell all the entrepreneurs who are listening to us about all of this?
I think AI is here to stay. I think you really have to. What we're doing as to entrepreneurs, what we're actually trying to do is we're trying to hire people who are not afraid of using AI and not afraid of failing. And I think what AI is enabling you to do is failing faster. And at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is it's all that is how quickly can you fail to learn and then get up from that and move on. And I think AI is just accelerating that. So you have to think. And one last thing I'll say about that is AI is great, but there's a trap. There's a trap of thinking that you can solve everything with AI. Because I was talking about it with the team earlier. I myself made the mistake. I was like, oh, I'm going to automate this process.
Yeah.
And then I did. And then well, wait a second. Are we actually saving any time or are we getting any value out of this? And then we realized, well, not really. It's just like automated for the sake. And it's even worse than that. There was one that I automated and I realized I should have never automated that because now I have a team and that to me is the biggest danger right now is you have a generation coming in not asking any questions. Like
Yes.
just taking whatever AI does and be like, this is the truth. So when you empower them or enable them with even more AI, they stop thinking.
Yeah.
And so there you have to find the balance of having your team to do certain things and manual things so that they learn and that they have critical thinking. And then once you have that, then you can implement AI. But you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah. Where do we draw the line with AI?
Where do we draw the line
Like,
with
where do we
AI?
say, okay, it's enough, let a human interfere?
At the moment, it's still humans as architects and validators and strategists at the moment. I don't know how long that's going to last, but without a human to do strategy, giving proper context and validating that the information is good. In our own tool, we have guardrails. Okay? So things that AI should never do, and then you can fill it, and AI won't even follow it. It won't. Okay. It cannot follow for. It cannot follow like a human. It just not 100% of the time follow. So now we have to build agents that are supervising. And the only job of the agent is making sure that are you followed the guardrail? Have you followed the guardrail? Because the first line of AI cannot follow rules.
So basically, just to sum this all up.
Yes.
If you don't want to go into the trouble of understanding anything, use tools like Glowtify.
Yes.
And then they will take care of it.
Sure.
You just pay a little bit of money and they will take care of everything.
Yes,
That's it.
And you'll have a human to talk to, and I'll make a joke, but a human to blame if something goes wrong.
Something bad happens.
Yes, you'll be able to scream at someone.
Exactly. Thank you so much, for
Andy.
this nice conversation. Obviously, everything we talked about is with what's happening with AI today.
Yes.
We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yes, we don't know.
So this is going to be like...
I mean, ChatGPT or Claude could come with a brand new model that in a month from now that would make me sound pretty irrelevant.
Exactly.
But we don't
all
know
of us,
yet.
yes. All right. Thanks again. And to all the listeners, I'll be back next week with a new episode.